27,261,470 kwacha. Are we okay?
Yes, Chair.
Maybe I repeat, 27,261,470. That is the funding received. Then it affects the total funds available. Are we moving together?
Yes, Chair.
It affects the total funds available. So on the column of the total funds available is supposed to be 48,030, which is 48,030,566 kwacha. So it is 48,030,566. Are we there?
Yes, Chair.
You are done?
Yes.
Then also the column for the balances at 31st December 2023. That balance is affected, so the amount changes to 16,598,192. You have noted?
Yes,
so also the percentage unspent changes now from 33% to 35%. So that is the major amendment that we took, guided by Auditor General's Office. Do you have any comment on that one?
Yes, Chair. On the same Appendix 2, we also noted an error on serial number 4 on the table, page 18.
Page 18. The table for the action taken on the matter. Page 18.
Yes, Chair. On serial number 4, skills and secondary school bursary.
Okay.
Under the column for expenditure, where it's written 2,725,555, is supposed to read 2,723,555.
Okay.
555.
Any other amendment? Do you have any other amendment or addendum that you'd want to submit?
Yes, Chair, just a small correction on page 8.
Okay. Let's go to page 8.
Where is the next page?
Yes, we're on page 8.
Serial number 9, Chair.
Yes.
Where is written construction of 2 VIP toilets in, there's a typo error there. It's supposed to read in Ngumbele.
Oh, in Ngumbele.
Yes, Chair. And also the next column where the cause of the query is reported, the sentence should read, the cause of the query was due to the breach of contract by the contractor who did not, there is an omission of word not between did and deliver.
Okay.
Then 23, Chair, page 23, on the remedial measures. Second sentence, which is reading Zambia National Service, is supposed to be Zambia Correctional Service.
Second
line on remedial measures, page 23.
Okay, Zambia Correctional Service.
we delete national and replace correctional service. And the last one, Chair, on page 26. On action taken, where there's numbering 6, the last sentence, which is saying management also engaged Indo-Zambia Bank to effect penalties on all loan beneficiaries in question, and the bank has effected the same. We add from the queried amount, comma, a total of 8,888 kwacha has been charged. We cancel the said late sentence from the second last serial.
Come again?
Where
it is only 5.
Yes, we are removing it down, it is misplaced.
The 5 we expunge it?
Yes.
We
Chair.
remove it totally from
Yes, Chair.
So we don't need this.
We start from the sentence ends where there is back, paying back, full stop.
Okay.
The rest of the content we move it to the second, to the last.
Okay.
This marks the end of the correction, Chair.
Okay. So with that done, we can now ask you to give us your presentation.
Thank you so much, Chair. We go to Part A, which constitutes specific audit findings. Delayed completion of community projects. We go to management response. Management acknowledges the findings of the Auditor General and wishes to state that the cause of the query and action taken are in the table below. Serial number 1, construction of an agricultural shed. The cause of the query was due to abandonment of the contract by the contractor, and action taken, the project was terminated and has been re-advertised. On number 2, construction of mother's shelter at Makia Clinic. The cause of the delay was due to the slow pace of the contractor, and action taken, the contract was terminated and another contractor was engaged to complete the project, and the project is now complete. Serial number 3, construction of a mortuary at SIKONGO mini hospital. The cause of the delay was due to failure by the contractor to source for refrigeration unit. And the action taken, the contract has been terminated and the project has been re-advertised. Serial number 4, construction of mother's shelter at Mutala Clinic. The cause of the delay was due to slow pace of the contractor, and the contract was terminated and another contractor was engaged to complete the project, and the project is now complete. Serial number 5, construction of 1x3 classroom block at Sivuo Primary School. The cause of the delay was due to abandonment of the contract by the contractor, and the project was terminated and currently being implemented using labor-based contractual method. Serial number 6, construction of 1x2 classroom unit at Umba Primary School. The cause of the delay was as a result of failure by the contractor to meet contractual obligations, and the contract was terminated and awarded to another contractor, and the project is now complete. Serial number 7, construction of a police post at Nyengo Central Community. The cause of the delay was due to abandonment of the contract by the contractor, and the project was terminated and re-advertised. Currently, the contract has been awarded to another contractor. Number 8, construction of a maternity wing at Isikushi Health Post. The cause of the delay was due to the slow pace of the contractor, and the contractor was engaged to speed up the process. The project is now at 85% complete. Serial number 9, construction of 2 VIP toilets in Ngombele. The cause of the delay was due to breach of contract by the contractor who did not deliver according to contract specifications. The contractor was engaged to correct their mistake and to speed up the process, and the project is complete. Serial number 10, construction of 2 VIP toilets in Mutala. The cause of the delay was due to identified substandard performance by the contractor. The contractor was issued with a site instruction to rectify the defects and speed up the process, and the project is complete. Serial number 11, construction of 1x3 classroom block at Sambangula Community School. The cause of the delay was due to abandonment of the contract by the contractor. The contract was terminated and has since been re-advertised. Serial number 12, construction of a staff house at Nanyua Primary School. The cause of the delay was due to minor plumbing works that were not fitted at the time of audit. The action taken, the contractor was engaged to complete the minor plumbing works, and the project is complete. Serial number 13, construction of maternity wing at Liundu Health Post. The cause of the delay was due to the slow pace of the contractor, and the contractor was engaged to speed up the process, and the project is complete. Serial number 14, construction of 1x3 classroom block at Makia Primary School. The cause of the delay was as a result of failure by the contractor to meet contractual obligations, and the contract was terminated and has since been re-advertised. Construction of a radio station. The cause of the delay was due to abandonment of the contract by the contractor, and the contractor was engaged to mobilize and speed up the process to complete the project. Currently, the project is complete. Serial number 16, construction of a maternity wing at the Languni Clinic. The cause of the delay was due to the slow pace of the contractor, and the contractor was engaged to speed up the process, and the project is complete. Chair, evidence on this query is on Appendix 1 for reference, and the remedial measures undertaken, management wishes to report to the committee that the council has appointed contract managers and instructed them to rigorously monitor and implement all outstanding projects for the purpose of completing them by 30th August 2025. Chair, we move to the next query, which was on procurement of 150 single desks under Naparu Investments Limited. Chair, go to management response, and the cause of query. Management has noted the observations of the Auditor General and wishes to inform the committee that the cause of the query was due to the contractor failing to supply the desks on time in accordance with the terms of the contract. And action taken, Chair, management wishes to inform the committee that the contractor was engaged and the desks have since been delivered. The contractor was charged 18,000 in liquidation damages for the delay, for the late delivery, Chair, as evidenced on the Appendix 2 attached for reference. Remedial measures. Management wishes to inform the committee that the council will continue to intensify contract management by appointing contract managers for all projects being implemented for timely identification and rectification of blunders and delays during project implementation. Chair, we move to the next query, which is failure to collect monthly repayments and penalties under soft loans. Management response. The cause of the query. Management acknowledges the observations made by the Auditor General and wishes to inform the committee that the cause of the query was as a result of failure by some loan beneficiaries to realize profits from their investments at the time of audit due to high dependence on rain-fed crops, as their main businesses were adversely affected by the low rainfall recorded in the district. Action taken. Chair, management wishes to inform the committee that one, management sensitized all the loan beneficiaries on the consequences of not paying back the loans. Secondly, management also engaged all the loan beneficiaries in writing to caution them to start remitting loan installments, and most of them have started paying back. From the queried amount of a total of 888 kwacha has been recovered. And thirdly, management also engaged the Indo-Zambia Bank to affect penalties on all loan beneficiaries in question, and the bank has effected the same as evidenced on Appendix 3 attached for reference. Remedial measures. Management wishes to assure the committee that SIKONGO Town Council will continue to intensify monitoring exercises to correct errors timely and to encourage the loan beneficiaries to pay back the loans until all outstanding loans are settled. Secondly, Chair, on the same, we have diversion of funds from approved business plans. Under soft loans, management response. Cause of query, management acknowledges the observations made by the Auditor General and wishes to inform the committee that the cause of the query was due to failure by the loan beneficiaries to follow procedure by obtaining approval for change of projects after experiencing a challenge of drought for the intended rice farming businesses that were not feasible due to low rainfall recorded in the district. Action taken. Chair, management wishes to inform the committee that SIKONGO Town Council sensitized the loan beneficiaries on the process for changing projects, advised the affected beneficiaries to formalize, and the matter was reported and subsequently approved by the CDF committee as evidenced in the CDF minutes attached for reference in Appendix 4, Chair. Remedial measures. Management wishes to assure the committee that it will continue to conduct periodic sensitizations and monitoring of loans beneficiaries to keep reminding them on the laid down procedures for utilization of CDF loans component. 3, under the same, Chair, we have registering of assets procured from soft loans in personal or clubs' names. Management response. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the observation of the Auditor General and wishes to inform the committee that the cause of the query was due to an oversight by management. And action taken. Chair, management wishes to inform the committee that the asset register has been updated and the equipment in question has been registered accordingly, as evidenced on Appendix 5, which is attached for reference. Remedial measures. Management wishes to assure the committee that the council will continue to update the asset register periodically to include any equipment purchased using CDF funds. Chair, we move to D, procurement of goods and services, failure to inscribe assets. Management response. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the observations of the Auditor General and wishes to inform the committee that the cause of the query was due to oversight by management. And action taken. Chair, management wishes to inform the committee that the council engaged the institution with inscribing facilities to inscribe all the assets bought using the CDF funds, and the assets have been inscribed accordingly as attached on Appendix 6 for reference and also on the addendum. Remedial measures. Chair, management wishes to assure the committee that going forward all assets bought will be inscribed immediately after purchase. Chair, we move to the second part of the report, which involves cross-cutting issues. We start with Appendix 1, budget funding and expenditure. Management response. Chair, cause of query. Management has noted the observations made by the Auditor General and wishes to inform the committee that the cause of the query was due to the funds being retained by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development to be used towards the procurement of police motor vehicle for SIKONGO constituents and the construction of the Chief's Palace. Action taken. Chair, management wishes to report to the committee that the 2 projects have been procured centrally for all the local authorities. SIKONGO Town Council has since received the police motor vehicle and is currently in use, while the Chief's Palace contracts were signed, and we are awaiting commencement of works, as evidenced on the attached Appendix 7 for reference. Remedial measures, Chair, management wishes to assure the committee that the Council will continue to make follow-ups with the Ministry for updates on progress made with the construction of the Chief's Palace. Chair, we move to Appendix 1.1. The funds retained for the Chief's Palace management response. Cause of the query, management acknowledges the observations of the Auditor General and wishes to inform the committee that the cause of the query was due to the circular from the Ministry, which instructed local authorities not to utilize the funds as construction of the Chief's Palaces would be procured centrally. Action taken, Chair, management wishes to report to the committee that the project is being procured centrally for all the local authorities and funds have been retained at source, as evidenced on the attached Appendix 8 for reference. Remedial measures, management wishes to assure the committee that SIKONGO Town Council will continue to adhere to instructions given by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Chair, we move to Appendix 2, the total unspent funds. Management response, cause of query. Chair, management acknowledges the observations made by the Auditor General and wishes to inform the committee that the unspent funds were due to uncompleted community projects for the years 2022 and 2023, as well as skills development and secondary school bursaries and administration costs. Action taken. Chair, management wishes to inform the committee that the Council has spent the said funds on various CDF programs as tabulated in the table below. Community projects, Chair, the amount spent was 12,832,245, and empowerment grants, Chair, the funds were spent at 100%, as well as empowerment loans and skills. With the corrected figure, Chair, the 2,723,555 kwacha, and administrative component, Chair, that was left, which is 265,440,000 kwacha, with a total, as evidenced in the attached Appendix 9 for reference. Remedial measures taken, Chair, management wishes to assure the committee that SIKONGO Town Council will always endeavor to implement activities funded within the financial year as and when funds are dispersed. Chair, we move to Appendix 2.1, unspent funds community projects.
Is it not the same? Okay. Community projects, I have not read it.
Community projects should be on page 19.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. The cause of the query, management acknowledges the observations of the Auditor General and wishes to inform the committee that the cause of the query was due to non-completion of community projects that were ongoing by various contractors. Action taken, management wishes to report to the committee that the unspent funds have since been utilized on various community projects, as evidenced on Appendix 10 for reference. Remedial measures, management wishes to assure the committee that SIKONGO Town Council will always ensure that projects are completed within the same implementation year. Chair, Appendix 2.2, unspent funds under community grants. Chair, management response. Cause of the query, management acknowledges the observations of the Auditor General and wishes to inform the committee that all funds were utilized under the grants components for the period under review. Action taken, management wishes to report to the committee that SIKONGO Town Council dispersed all the funds allocated for grants for the period under review to successful beneficiaries. Remedial measures, management wishes to inform the committee that SIKONGO Town Council will endeavor to follow established guidelines on this component in order to ensure disbursements to beneficiaries are made timely. We move to Appendix 2.4, secondary boarding and skills development bursaries, management response, cause of query. Management acknowledges the observations of the Auditor General and wishes to inform the committee that the cause of the query was as a result of receipt of limited applications that were not enough to exhaust the allocated funds for the secondary boarding and skills development bursaries component. Action taken. Management wishes to inform the committee that the funds were varied towards the procurement of desks in order to adhere to the presidential directives on provision of desks to all schools in the district to ensure no PPU seats on the floor by end of 2023, as evidenced on Appendix 11 attached for reference. Remedial measures. Management wishes to assure the committee that it will continue to intensify community sensitization to encourage would-be applicants to apply for this component. Appendix 2.5, unspent funds under administrative costs. Chair, management response, cause of query. Management acknowledges the observations made by the Auditor General and wishes to inform the committee that the cause of the query was due to reservation of funds for the fourth quarter activities such as the service of the project vehicle and banking duties. Action taken. Management wishes to inform the committee that the funds have been spent for the fourth quarter on various activities, as evidenced on Appendix 12 attached for reference. Remedial measures. Management wishes to assure the committee that SIKONGO Town Council will always ensure that expenditure is done within the allocated amount and financial year. Chair, we move to Appendix 3, 2022 Community Projects. Management response, cause of query. Management acknowledges the observations of the Auditor General and wishes to inform the committee that the cause of the query was due to ongoing projects still under implementation from the previous year. Action taken. Chair, management wishes to inform the committee that the projects have since been implemented, except 5 which are still ongoing, as evidenced on the attached Appendix 13 for reference. Remedial measures taken. Chair, management wishes to assure the committee that SIKONGO Town Council will always endeavor to implement and complete community projects within the implementation year. We move to Appendix 4, 2023 Community Projects. Management response, cause of query. Management wishes to inform the committee that the cause of the query was due to the projects that were being procured centrally, that is the purchase of the police motor vehicle and the the construction of the Chief's Palace, as well as non-completion of awarded projects by the contractors. Action taken. On the matter, Chair, management wishes to report that firstly, the council received the police motor vehicle and it is currently in use. Secondly, the Chief's Palace project site has been identified awaiting commencement of works. Thirdly, the community projects have been implemented and some are still ongoing, as evidenced on the Appendix 14 attached for reference. Remedial measures. Chair, management wishes to assure the committee that the council will continue to make follow-ups with the Zambia Correctional Service for updates on progress made with the project, while the other outstanding projects will be completed by September 2025. Chair, we move to Appendix 5, analysis of performance, youth, women, and community grants. Management response, cause of query. Management acknowledges the observations of the Auditor General and wishes to inform the committee that the cause of the query was due to oversight by management. And action taken. Chair, management wishes to inform the committee that SIKONGO Town Council has since adjusted the allocation to the grants component to 2,151,856.55 ngwe, as indicated in the table below. Remedial measures. Management wishes to assure the committee that SIKONGO Town Council will continue to operate within the allocated funds. We move to Appendix 8, performance analysis on soft loans. Management response, cause of query. Management acknowledges the observations of the Auditor General and wishes to inform the committee that the cause of the delay to disburse the loans was as a result of management's effort to ensuring that due diligence was done before disbursing the funds. Action taken. Chair, management wishes to inform the committee that all funds under the loan components have been disbursed, and the remedial measures taken. Chair, management wishes to assure the committee that SIKONGO Town Council will continue to disburse all the loans to all the approved beneficiaries appropriately. We move to Appendix 9, failure to recover loans. Management response. Query. Management acknowledges the observations of the Auditor General and wishes to inform the committee that the cause of the query was as a result of failure by some loan beneficiaries to realize profits from their investments at the time of audit due to high dependence on rain-fed crops as their main businesses, which were subsequently affected by low rainfall recorded in the district. Action taken. Chair, management wishes to inform the committee that management sensitized all the loan beneficiaries on the consequences of not paying loans, and management also engaged all the loan beneficiaries in writing to caution them to start remitting loan installments, and most of them have started paying back. Thirdly, Chair, management also engaged the Indo-Zambia Bank to effect the penalties on all loan beneficiaries in question, and the bank has affected the same. From the queried amount, a total of 8,808 kwacha has been charged. Remedial measures. Management wishes to assure the committee that SIKONGO Town Council will continue to intensify monitoring exercise to correct errors timely and to encourage the loan beneficiaries to pay back the loans until all outstanding loans are settled. Chair, we go to Appendix 10, secondary boarding and skills development bursaries. Management response. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the observations of the Auditor General and wishes to inform the committee that the cause of the query was as a result of not having students and pupils that completed training and school at the time of audit. Action taken. Chair, management wishes to inform the committee that some pupils and students have graduated as shown on the table below, where the number of graduates for secondary schools has gone to 146 and skills 380. As evidenced on the attached Appendix 15 for reference, remedial measures taken. Management wishes to assure the committee that the Council will continue to adhere to regulations to ensure successful implementation of this component. Chair, we move to Appendix 13, analysis of the performance of desks. Management response. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the observations made by the Auditor General and wishes to inform the committee that the cause of the query was due to delayed delivery of 150 desks by one of the suppliers. Action taken. Management wishes to inform the committee that the supplier was engaged and 150 desks have since been delivered, as evidenced on the Appendix 2 attached for reference. Remedial measures. Chair, management wishes to assure the committee that SIKONGO Town Council will ensure that all procured materials are delivered within stipulated time frames. This marks the end of my submission, Chair.
Thank you very much, Council Secretary, for that elaborate presentation. It's now time for points of clarifications from honorable members of Parliament. Honorable Member for Dundumwezi.
Chair, thank you so very much, and allow me to thank SIKONGO for their submission. Chair, when you come to page 7,
let us go to page 7,
8, up to 9. These are projects that were assigned to different contractors in SIKONGO. However, in total there are about 16. If I've counted them correctly, Chair, you will discover that about 7 contracts were terminated. And when you look at the construction of an agricultural shed, which is number 1, the local authority's action taken is they're saying they have re-advertised. Chair, this is a 2023 project, 2022 project, and we are in 2025. They are still talking of re-advertising. Why are they re-advertising it now? When you look at the termination, I think it was done in it was done last year on the 26th of July. So,
officers, I want you to be moving with the honorable member. If you can consult after he finishes his query. If you need more time, we shall give you time to go out and consult, because we need to do due diligence. 16 projects for 2022, they are not implemented, or either some of them are still being advertised. So let's get to honorable member Dr. Singombe.
Thank you, Chair. And you look at the contract was terminated on the 26th of July 2024. And as at a time the Auditor General went to, or maybe can I say that as at this report, they are still talking about re-advertising. Are we getting value for money? Are we giving goods and services to the people of SIKONGO? If a contract, Chairman, like this one was terminated in 2024
from 2022,
and only to be re-advertised at this time, Chair, I thought I should bring this to the attention of the local authority and probably give more meat as to why such a period is being taken without the people of SIKONGO getting to a point where they can receive or they can utilize this agricultural shed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before you respond, I'll ask Honorable Mulunda to make an addition.
Just a follow-up, Chairperson.
Yeah, a follow-up.
We appreciate what SIKONGO is doing, but I wanted to find out from the engineering, do we have a general challenge, a general problem to these projects, many projects that have been terminated? Do we have a general challenge in SIKONGO? Thank you, Chairperson.
Yeah, we a short one, Doc, then we can make other follow-ups. On the very one, we don't want to load them. Let me allow you answer first, those two. Why has Honorable Mulunda said, do you have a general problem? You note that you have 16 community projects. From 2022 to date, some of them are not procured. You are advertising for 2022. Again, you have that specific question that Dr. Singombe has asked. So may you respond. You are at liberty to ask your technocrats who were there, directors of engineering, planners, auditors, all who are there to help you. And we are lucky that we have the council secretary who was at SIKONGO during the time of this audit or implementation period. So CS, you can help.
Thank you very much, Chair. Maybe I refer to the former CS to highlight on the general challenges that SIKONGO encounters in terms of project implementation, Chair.
You tackle the specific one.
Yes, Chair.
Okay. CS.
Thank you, Chair. I think we shall, sorry. We shall combine this with my former director engineering.
Is here?
He's around this one.
Oh.
I mean former because I'm no longer there, but he's
Okay.
current.
Okay.
Sure, sir.
Pull your mic closer to you.
In terms of the shed, we quite all right awarded to the contractor. And when we awarded, the contractor was very, very happy that we gave him that contract. But again, the issue is that he faced a lot of challenges. Because initially he came with the people from wherever he was coming from, and they didn't.
We are not getting you. Be slow, and the specific issues should come out.
Yes.
You awarded this contract to this company.
Yes.
Number one, to
Josmark
Enterprise Limited.
Yes.
So what happened to Josmark?
Yes, it started very well, but what happened, I think, along the way, it's like most of the workers, it's like he got them from somewhere, so they couldn't cope up with the terrain, so they ran away. Then he recruited the local ones. Then he had other challenges. But of course, because we looked at the contract itself,
What about the terrain?
it's a sandy terrain, and most of the materials are gotten from outside SIKONGO. So we gave him a benefit of doubt. But until at a time when I think I left SIKONGO, then they terminated. And now, in terms of re-advertising, it was re-advertised, there was no applicant. There was a second re-advertisement. Again, there was nothing. But for the third one, I think the data engineering will come in before I come into the general challenge of why we have a lot of termination.
Before the director comes in,
Yes, sir.
this is an evidence-based committee. And I want you to move with us in that order. When you say it was re-advertised, first, second, third, we would like you to just show us at which page was the termination was done, in which month? In July 2024, isn't it, Honorable Singombe? So this is a 2022 project. Why did it take you long to terminate? Because the re-advertising comes after termination.
Yes.
So you started in 2024. From 2022, what were the terms of the contract? Direct engineering, you can assist.
Thank you so much, Chair. Maybe just to shed more light, I would like to give a historical background to the project for the construction of the storage shed under the Department of Agriculture. The re-advertisement that the former Council Secretary is referring to was at the inception of the project. So the project was advertised 3 times and there were no responsive bidders. That is how we decided to change the scope of the contract. So initially the storage shed itself was a steel structure that was supposed to be constructed with a bigger capacity. And then we did actually do a redesign of the project into a reinforced concrete structure. We redesigned it and re-advertised it. That's when we successfully had the contract that was terminated. That is in question now.
When did you contract it?
The project was contracted in 2023, Chair.
Okay, let him proceed first. You come in. From 2022, you only contracted it in 2023. That's why it has appeared here. Now, from 2023, what has happened to 2024?
I can respond, Chair?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Chairperson. Chairperson, so the delay was caused also due to the redesign, because we had to consider the appropriate design according to the funds that had initially been allocated, Chair. I think that also attributed to the delay in awarding of the contract. And later, after termination of the contract, as also attached in the Appendix 1, you'll find that after the contract was initially recommended for termination, there was a contention from the contractor, and the procurement committee sat, and a resolution was made. That is why there was a delay in actually the finality of the termination itself. That is why, Chair, you see it being re-advertised so late. I submit.
The delay we are talking about, engineer, you did rescoping, and the contractor was procured. In 2023, this contract has a lifespan of certain months, and it was supposed to be concluded in 2023, correct? Yes. If that was the case, why did you take so long, up to July 2024? That is what Honorable Singombe is asking. Why did you take so long? The contract was running. After redesigning everything, putting it to the satisfaction of this contractor, why did the council take long to terminate when it had elapsed its lifespan, the contract? Why did you take so long? Now that the contractor was satisfied and was procured, why did it take so long? Up to July, at the time of audit, this contract was still, is it running or it was terminated? So that's the issue. The delay in procuring the initial advertisement, we are not concerned. Now you managed after rescoping. Why did you take so long? What was your role as the supervisors? Engineer.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. I think there were issues, I think, surrounding the same contract from the start. Maybe I'll ask the Council Secretary to maybe shed more light. I may not be able to give a much clearer picture.
Why I asked you, you as Director Engineering, you are the person who is supposed to day-to-day supervision. Is the contract moving? Is the contractor on site? What is this? So if you ask the Council Secretary, yes, good. I'll ask Honorable Mulunda before the Council Secretary comes in. You get serious. Are you moving with us? We are looking at the period of the contract now. It is running, all being done. So we shall ask the two honorable members to make follow-ups, then you respond.
Yes, just follow up, Chairperson. Director Engineering, your responses, what you are putting now sounds positive. But my question is, the auditors came to you, to your institution, and you had all those reasons as to why you delayed, because the query here is delayed community project. You had the reasons. You are saying at the inception, actually, we re-advertised. Maybe we didn't have, nobody came forward, to get a contract, maybe 2-3 times. Why didn't you do that? Didn't you explain to the auditors? Because what is put here is that the project was terminated and re-advertised. There are no reasons. The action taken from you is that you terminated and re-advertised. At which stage? And maybe, Chairperson, I also want to know, these challenges in SIKONGO, are they seasonal or they are perennial challenges in the district? Thank you.
Before Honorable comes in, let me make it very clear for all of you to understand. I will read it before he comes in. Take note of his question. Are these issues perennial or not? The issue is, out of 25 approved projects, 23 projects with allocation of 14,335,000 205 kwacha, which commenced during the period under review and were scheduled to have been completed not later than 31st December 2023, had not been completed as at 31st September 2024. Out of 25, 23 projects worth 14 million, which were scheduled to have been completed in 2023 by December, they couldn't be completed. And one of them is that shed. Then that was not, this was not done by December 31st, 2023, which is the year under review. It went further. By the time of audit in 2024 September, almost a year after, these projects were not done. So if others were done, out of 25, others were being implemented, the same terrain, why these? That's why we are asking, what was your role in the supervision during the time of this case? Take note. Honorable Singombe.
Chair, my colleague has preempted part of my question. However, when you look at the cause of the query, the local authority is saying the cause of the delay was due to abandonment. And I want to underline abandonment of the contract by the contractor. Is it your view to make an addition to this cause of the query? Because, Chair, from the engineer here, for me, I see the cause of query, part of it is as a result of no one coming forth. Contract, you don't just go and pick someone by his shirt or by her dress. No, let's go and do this. You advertise, and those who are willing should come, and then you share the terms of conditions, and once you agree, you hand over the site. But in this situation, Chair, for me, I see them painting the contractor black and leaving what caused the main causes of this delay. So is it your view that you make an addition to this cause of query? Thank you, Chair.
You can respond to that. Those various queries, a number of queries, you can respond. You're a team. May we know what was the cause?
Thank you very much, Chair. I would like to give a general perspective of the challenges that are faced in SIKONGO, Chair. Before I go to that, I would also like to mention that the project in question, the construction of an agricultural shed, Chair, I think the engineer has missed out a key point here, where from the analysis that management undertook while we're preparing this report, Chair, the shed actually did not commence within the year that it was planned to commence, 2022. The delay, Chair, is attributed to the change of scopes of work, which the engineer delayed to implement quickly. And then that change was implemented in 2023. And when the change was implemented and the contractor was contracted successfully, Chair, this will take me to the general perspective of SIKONGO district, where it's perceived that most of the contractors, that's why you are seeing a lot of projects failing. Most of the contractors fail to understand the geographical location and the terrain of SIKONGO district, such that those that send people to represent them during the procurement processes, and maybe even to supervise on their behalf when they are not there, Chair, they are ending up deserting projects and not completing projects. Also, the occurrence on this particular project, Chair, where a contractor has been successfully awarded a project, and then they start implementing, then all of a sudden they abandon the works. And Chair, from the look of things and the letters that are attached here on Appendix 1, which shows the engagements made between the council and the contractor, Chair, showing that after a series of engagements, the contractor was nowhere to be seen, and now the project was abandoned, and then the council tries to re-advertise it, and no one is coming forth, and time is elapsing. And Chair, maybe to add on that, even now when we have conducted an assessment, Chair, we have also noted that even the project cost, Chair, has been affected. And as a corrective measure, Chair, we have increased, we have re-evaluated the project, and we have increased slightly the amount, so that, Chair, we see this project being awarded, and we have re-advertised it accordingly. Chair, on the role of management, Chair, I must apologize that to some extent the process took long, and it was indeed management's oversight, Chair, and I would like to apologize on that one, and to assure the committee that the corrective measures that we have undertaken now will see the project completing before 31st August. Chair, I submit.
I would like to note your apology on behalf of the committee, and appreciate your openness. You can easily see the weakness in the engineering department. During his presentation or responses, he even said that why did it take long to terminate? He said that the same contractor had contended the termination. That means he was willing to do the work. That's what we got him saying. Now, if that is the case, you can't blame or paint black the contractor. What is happening in SIKONGO, 23 projects, it's not true that these 23 projects for 2022, if we had a very powerful management team committed, these projects could have been implemented. Now, the terrain is not the issue. You are the people who do the costing, and you cost according to the terrain. So the failure is not you want to paint that in SIKONGO CDF cannot work because of the terrain. That's not true. So we want to establish who is involved, because you see, you are the technocrats who are supposed to do the technical job and justify why a certain project in SIKONGO can cost 2 million instead of 1 million because of the terrain. So this project was re-advertised, re-scoped from the initial, and that's why we have the commission. If you are officers who are not willing to work in the councils, we have always indicated we are not going to waste time, but recommend, because you see, you are employed to do the job. So if you go there, you do wrong things, we are not going to allow. Dr. Mwanza.
Thank you, Chair. On the same one, of course, it's a sad reading, looking at the number of projects that have been affected. The general statistics, Chair, is that 60% of the projects have been terminated. Major reasons is abandonment of site, breach of contract conditions, failure, slow pace of the contractor, then terminate a contract. So out of 23 projects, 11 of them were affected in terms of termination. This actually borders on the question of whether we are aware about a timely delivery and the quality assurance, as well as the cost. It is already seen that there's already cost escalation, as the CS alluded to this particular project. I'll just take a sample of contract management of one of the projects that have been abandoned. that has been terminated. Okay, just because our memories are fresh, we just look at the same agriculture shed. If we go to Appendix 1, Appendix 1, there was a procurement committee, district public procurement committee, reporting on issues of performance of contracts. Page 2 of the minutes, there's a sentence which caught my attention. Second, before the table. It is for this reason that I'm recommending that the contracts be ratified for termination, as letters have already been issued to the contractors. So, in question, like the agricultural shed is number. It's not here.
It's number 1.
Construction of a staff house. Okay. It's not here. It wasn't part of the projects that was discussed on.
You can go ahead with your question.
Yeah. So my question is, the contract management council would send termination letters before meet the procurement committee, before seeking authority from procurement committee. It is actually stated on page 2 of the minutes here.
Are we there, Tim? I want you to be moving with us, so that what is stating is
on page
confirmed
2.
by yourself.
On page 2, you know, you meet as a district public procurement committee to decide on the way forward of any project, and you get actually engineers report. So it's supposed to be the committee to recommend termination. So, but the sentence here on page 2, why would council terminate contracts without the approval of the district procurement committee, as witnessed on page 2? Then the second one is if you go to the correspondence between the JOSMAG and the SIKONGO, it is very casual, because there's a letter written on 26th July 2024. SIKONGO Council, termination of contract for the construction of an agricultural storage shed under 2022 CDF projects. So council is explaining that the employer is terminating the contract because of abandonment of works. And you are hereby informed that the contract is terminated with immediate effect. And now, on the second page, it says, owing from the above, you are hereby invited for a site meeting to carry out a final account of the works and materials on site on 2nd July 2024. The termination letter was written on the 26th July 2024. And we are asking the contractor to meet so that to settle final account of the project on 2nd July. So on 26th, you write a letter of termination, and then you ask the contractor to say, come, we negotiate. We settle we settle the accounts on the 2nd July. That is 22 days before you, 24 days before you have experienced that. Okay. Then
let's allow them to respond to those two important ones.
Then the same letter here, we hereby demand that you pay SIKONGO Town Council 279,272 kwacha which you were paid as advance payment and interim payment within 30 days from the date of receipt of this write-up. Your possession is hereby invoked. Due to and perform your obligation, be informed that further damages will apply at 10% of the total contract sum at the cost of 96,570. Chair, you cannot, even if you are a contractor, you receive such a letter on the 26th of July 2024, and the client is asking you to go and negotiate, to go and finalize the accounts 24 days before you receive the letter. And then you already put a statement in terms of the penalties that which the contractor is supposed to pay. You say you have to pay the contract, you have to pay council 279,000 kwacha. Where did you get
before they do the accounts?
Before you do the accounts. I mean, how do you explain such kind of communication?
That is the question. CS.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I would
Put
like
down your mic a bit.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I would like to submit to this committee that Chair, management has seriously undertaken measures to address all the issues that have been raised by the Honorable Member of Parliament, Chair. As you can see from the corrective measures that we have undertaken, Chair, my office assigned Director Legal to interrogate the entire contract, not only this one, but for all the 23 projects, Chair, so that we identify serious gaps, Chair, and put in that we may not have even noticed yet. And Chair, I would like to assure you that this corrective measure that we have undertaken, Chair, is going to address all the concerns. Indeed, we have really delayed, and we were...
You are not answering the question. You are talking about delay. The question, can you explain about this?
Chair, yes, it's difficult to explain, especially that the analysis and the interrogation hasn't yet been completed, because it's also something that management also wishes to know and to really understand from the contract management that was undertaken. Chair, we had no contract managers then, and it's different. It's a different case now that we have contract managers for all these contracts that are still ongoing.
Maybe we ask the former council secretary. You are talking about what you are putting in place going forward. These are resources. The people of SIKONGO, when the government releases money, council secretary, do you know why the government, this government, has taken CDF as the main channel for development? And how do you explain this? Is this the development the people of SIKONGO have been looking for? And who is causing this? This is not caused by government. This is not caused by the member of parliament. It's you technocrats. Can we see why you can a letter 2 days, 4 days before? How do you explain this? Director Engineering, you are the author of this letter. Council Secretary, you saw this letter. They are writing on your behalf. Can you explain, you, the former Council Secretary? You know, before you respond, CS, the two council secretaries and officers, don't take these things casually. We are spending money as a committee. You come here and give your casual things. Are you the people expected to develop this country? If that is the case, then you cannot take the casual route you are taking. It's business as usual. This is gone. We are putting measures in place. We are studying contracts. How many? This is 2025. You're still studying contracts. Can you have a response from you?
First and foremost, Chair, I would like to apologize on the date. This was supposed to read 2nd August 2024. That's why if you look even at the date stamp, it's still talking about 20 to 26 July 2024. So for the contractor, we asked the contractor to come in on 2nd of July. So I apologize for the mix-up in terms of dates.
Yes, you see, us from this side, we take you that you are serious people, yes, qualified people, and you know you are the right people in those offices. So you make these mistakes and you come and tell us here. When our documents reading, did you edit? Did you go through this? If this is going on in your offices, then we have anarchy then, if you can be allowed to use that term. There was one town clerk here, who even he couldn't check his name. I don't want to mention the name. His own name. Me, when you read me checking, I will check. But here, dates you, because you have taken this as business as usual. This committee is where you come, you go to Charimbana, 30 days, you make allowances, you come here, you bring a report which the dates are like that. Then you want to tell us, no, we just tell them, no, we sincerely apologize for the mix-up. How do we change this country? We can't go on like this. So can you explain the detail, engineer and your former council secretary, what happened on this project? You are threatening the contractor. Already you have made the judgment. You are inviting him come so that we do the accounts. You have already determined the figures. How do you determine the figures that is 200 and something thousand without engagement with the contractor? We are supposed to say these are the works we did, so minus the from the contract, this is the amount. You have already decided, and you're even threatening that contractor to say you are giving you more punishment. Can he turn up? Council Secretary.
Like I've mentioned, the chair, that first of all, like I've mentioned, the 2nd of July is supposed to be 2nd of August. Mostly what we do when such a thing happens, we have to call the contractor, because when we give them an advance payment, of course, they use the money to buy materials and all sorts of works. So this is just to highlight to say, this is the money that we are supposed to pay in case there's nothing that has happened. Now, after doing the calculations, that's when now we know how much is owing us. Sometimes there are some other contractors who use their own money. You discover that maybe they have even done more than this. So as we do the calculations, you discover that maybe SIKONGO Council owes the contractor. And upon a recommendation by the management and then approval by procurement committee, then we decide the way forward. I rest my case unless maybe the engineer wants to come in. Thank you, Chair.
So, was this done, before I allow Dr. Manza, was this done, what you're explaining? In this particular case of your engagement with this, what you're explaining, and the letter that you have written, did you wrote the contractor, already you had decided the amount before the contractor sat down with you. And you are giving us the ideal situation where sometimes contractors use their own money. Sometimes they put in more than. Now you gave us the figures here. You determined and you are already threatening him. Is that the right system or the order?
Chair, like I said earlier on.
Is this the right thing, what you did?
At that particular time, we thought, first of all, to highlight what is owing us in terms of advance payment. Then after doing what we did, including the damages, the damages which was applying at 10%, we were, because the amount here is 96,000, we were thinking, after doing all the calculations, then we can now know who owes which one. Then from there, we see the way forward. But according to the question that we have asked, this was supposed to come after, because this was the recommendation for termination. Then before we terminate, we need to come up with this, so that when as we are terminating the contract, we should know the position in terms of financials, who owes which one. Like I mentioned, if there's anything in terms of the contractor coming, I think I will leave this one with the director engineering.
Dr. Manza.
Yes, I think there's nothing wrong to admit that this letter contradicted itself, because even we can accept to say, okay, you invited the contractor on 2nd August, which was okay.
Dr.
So
Manza?
you would have, you should have.
Doc, your mic is either a bit, yes, yeah.
Yeah, so if you invited the contractor for negotiations on 2nd August, then these other statements concerning financials wouldn't have been there. So you would meet with a contractor. These are your own background notes to prepare for the meeting. So you already highlighted and you warned the contractor this is what you should pay. Anyway, it is important just to say it's a learning curve.
Okay,
So
let's move to another question.
Now, but I'm interested in the financials because you have re-advertised. And the latest advertised, actually it is running on EGP. I've looked at
Okay, it is running.
It is running.
Come now to the point.
It is running 25th April. No, I think they just, you must have just closed, right? 25th April, it is.
This is a 2022 project.
2022 project, yes. And now they should be in evaluation stage. Evaluation stage, it will take another 1
Yes,
month.
Doc.
So, I'm interested on the cost because the re-advertised value, you are saying the contract is supposed to be 520,000 kwacha. What was the termination cost when you terminated the contract and agreed on the final account? Because I see that the contract was awarded at 965,701 kwacha. That was in April 2024, 28 November 2023 to 18 April 2024. 965,000 kwacha. These are funds from the 2022 CDF. 965, and the contractor was paid 459,227, representing 45% of the financial progress, with a balance of 526,474 kwacha.
Okay,
So,
make it short, short.
Why you are looking for 520,000 kwacha to this would be best evaluated bidder to complete the project? What cost elements have motivated the increase in the price? Because you already did the rescoping of the project from steel structures to concrete structure. What motivated the increase in the cost price, which is almost twice from the original amount? Thank you.
Director Engineering.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. I think if I got the question correct, it's that upon termination of the contract and now the re-advertisement has that value, the 526,000, 520,000. I beg your pardon, Chair. So the contractor, should I say, after having written him the initial letter and invited him to come for the final account, the contractor did come. I think just the proceeding day, he responded to our letter and he came to site. And actually, from the minutes, you can see that there was a decision that was made for the continuation of the project. So upon him remobilizing to the site, he continued to carry on the works. But then there was a reoccurrence.
You had not terminated by that time?
Because there was a...
Maybe my question is simple. By that time, the project was not, contract was not terminated?
Not yet, because it had not yet been approved by the procurement committee.
Okay.
Yes, Chair. So the re-advertisement now is basically to complete the rest of the project. So when we're advertising projects, we usually have budgeted amounts against contract sums that we contract to the contractors.
Was it terminated at any point?
The contract was terminated finally, yes, sir.
That's the question he's asking. What was the final account on the project? That's the question. After termination, take us to speed.
Chair, maybe I can refer you to the addendum that was submitted. On the ledgers, there's a final account which is showing the balance of 526,473.10 ngwe. That was the final account, Chair, I submit.
On the before the proposed addition.
Yes, Chair.
So you are adding another 500.
No, Chair. The addition is not indicated on the ledger because this is the financial statements.
For us who are laymen, the financial closure was done, and the figure which was outstanding then was how much?
526,473 kwacha 10
from the initial 900.
Yes, yes, Chair.
So now, are you proposing any additional funds to this project?
Yes, Chair.
How much?
300,000 roughly.
Is it written anywhere?
Chair, it is minuted from the approved amounts from the CDF committee of that was constituted in 2022, because what we are basically trying to say is from the budgeted amount, the contract sum was lower than the budgeted.
That's what we want. As we want to learn from you, you are proposing what is the scope that is making it to go to what is coming with the 300? What is involved? The scope that was terminated at the time of termination. What was this? What were the scope? The works. Then what has brought this 300? What is it that is cannot be completed in the 500 that was initially allocated?
Chair, I'll submit that with passage of time, there is usually loss of value in terms of the funds.
So that was the justification you took to the CDF committee? What was the justification for the upward adjustment or additional 300 that you took for authority? Because you don't just tell them 300. From where? What was the justification that you took to the CDF committee?
Chair, it's upon re-evaluation and looking at the price escalations. That's how prices of contracts always go up with passage of time.
For your case, in this particular, we are being specific. We know all those things. But in this one, what prompted you?
Chair, I will submit that the two, because again, it's kind of preempting the procurement processes which are currently ongoing. But okay, yes, yes. So the two reasons are, one, that there was a balance on that project allocation in terms of the budgeted amount, and the second element also is because of the budget allocation.
There was a balance of 500. We are aware, 500 plus. So you are proposing another 300 plus. What is the justification for that 300? You as a technical person, you want to add the 300 so that the project now moves to a project which was supposed to cost 900. It is now going to cost 1.2 or 1.3. We need a justification. These are public resources, my brother. So you are a technical person for this particular one, not general reasons. You say what prompted us to adjust to 300 these are the reasons, so that the people of SIKONGO, the people of Zambia, they know. Because you are just playing around. We are not. You remember what Honorable Singombe said? Value for money. Dr. Mwanza said, if you didn't pick him nicely, the president has indicated the three principles. Projects should be costed at the right price, and they should be delivered at the right time or in a good time, and the quality should be good quality. Now, if you follow these and you are taking it casually, one, time has elapsed because of the terrain. You did not do a good job in the costing, because you should have taken into consideration the terrain. The project in Joseph cannot cost the same in Siom, in SIKONGO, because the terrain is different, and you are allowed to do that. You failed to do that. The project is taking long. This is 2022. So we wanted to know. Let's go to another question, because we can be... let me ask one before... It's on page 10. Also, I got interested. I know Honorable Mulunda will pick it up. It's a procurement of 150 single desks. NAPO Investments Limited. On 26 December 2023, the supplier, which is NAPO Investment Limited, was paid an advance payment of 45,000 kwacha. The supplier did not deliver the desks within the stipulated contract period, and subsequently, on 15th August 2024, the council terminated the contract. On 15th August 2024, the council issued a claim to the supplier demanding the reimbursement of the 45,000 kwacha advance payment and liquidated damages in amounts of 18,000 kwacha. As at September 2024, I presume this is the audit period, the supplier had neither reimbursed the advance payment amount nor settled the liquidated damages. Are we together? You pay this contractor to supply 150 desks. I hope this is not an issue of terrain again. These are desks. Then he doesn't deliver, you pay advance. Then nothing is done. Then he can't pay even the 45,000 kwacha you write. You even put liquidated damages 18,000 kwacha. What could be the explanation, Council Secretary? The people were waiting for the desks. They're still sitting on the floor.
No, I don't know when you say Council Secretary. I don't know which one.
No, you can... if she's the... yeah.
Maybe later I can...
I know she's going to tell us that we have since delivered. So we want to see what happened on the 150 desk during the period under review. Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. Like I mentioned earlier, the Chair, that we relented a bit in terms of contract management. Chair...
Repeat that.
We relented a bit in terms of contract management.
23 projects not implemented, community projects, then desks 150 not done, then you are saying you relented a bit.
I mean a bit in that, Chair, we took corrective measures quickly to ensure that our relation is worked on quickly. So the moment the problem, the gap was identified, Chair, management quickly corrected the relentlessness and made sure that the project is complete.
Maybe not to interrogate you so much. There were people employed to do that. They never did anything. And you say you rented a bit. The people of SIKONGO were not given the service or the goods as they promised. Money was there. Honorable Mulunda, it's sad.
On the response from the Council Secretary, when you say you rented a bit, what do you mean? Because you paid.
That's a good
You can go and pay for a loaf of bread at the market, then you come and sit at home without collecting it. And then you come and say, no, I rented a bit, children are starving. So what do you mean when you say you rented a bit? Because what prompted you to pay is the situation that was on the ground, that your children were sitting on the floor. So why should we sit back after we paid? We are supposed to follow that money and make sure that we do that. If that is not negligence of duty, then what is it? Yes.
Chair, we apologize for delay in taking quick action against the matter. I submit.
Just like that. I know I'll make a summary. It is making me sad. This committee is sad if this is the case. Even desks, when the president or the government is saying that no children should sit on the floor, can you procure money is there? Then you can give someone 45,000 doesn't pay. Did you recover this money? That's a question.
Chair, I would like to ask the Director of Finance to respond to that question.
DF. Before DF is
Chair, I was just reading something.
switch off the mic.
I was just reading something that the Minister of Local Government is proposing to be deducting monies for desks from source. And these are the reasons now. The whole country should be suffering out of a few local authorities that are failing to procure desks. And now monies should be deducted at source. And then they come here as the audit queries. So see where the challenges are coming from. Simple desks that people should benefit within your locality. Now money should be deducted at source, like we are building chief's palaces, like we are buying ambulances and so forth. Is it being fair?
No, let's allow the DF. I know you are burning. This is very emotional. It's an issue. Just because we are sitting as a committee, we have to be as civil as we can. If you were to come in the chamber and you hear how members of parliament we are complaining, I think you wouldn't be there. Now we are a committee, we have to give you an opportunity. Director of Finance, did you recover the 45,000 kwacha and also the 18,000 kwacha that you slapped on this contractor who failed to deliver 18,000 kwacha in liquidated damages? You have written yourselves. This is a report we are reading.
Maybe Chair,
former
may come
Council
in
Secretary.
Before my Director of Finance comes in. First of all, I'd like to put it on record that this is the same supplier who supplied these discs. When we recommended for termination, little did we know that behind scenes he was making these discs. So if you have seen, we at the end of the day supplied the discs. But what we did, we recovered the 18,000. Maybe that's the one that we need to check. The 18,000.
Council Secretary, let us be professional. You terminated the contract.
Sorry, sir, it was a recommendation for termination.
On August 2024, the council issued a claim to the supplier demanding reimbursement, advance payment, and liquidated damages. At which point do you claim for liquidated damages?
Chair, this, if you look at this one, this is similar to that other one.
No. We don't. You see, we are human. You see, don't do that. We want to be sober. Don't provoke our emotions. The simple question: at which point do you claim liquidated damages? Is it a running contract or a contract that is terminated?
Terminated contract, Chair.
So who wrote this? So you are telling this committee that this contract was not terminated. When you claimed this, you knew the contract was terminated. And that's why you are asking, and you wrote to this, can you pay 45,000 kwacha? You cannot ask a supplier or a contractor to pay if that contractor, the contract is running. Why did you ask for this advance? Council Secretary.
Yeah, like I've mentioned, when we were doing this, little did we know that this contractor was behind the scenes making the desks.
Honorable Munda.
Just on the same behind the scenes. So how did you know that behind the scenes he was doing that? Because me, I thought, what made you to recommend for a termination is because the director engineering could go there and check.
Yeah,
so when he was making those desks those few days, the director was not going there. So you didn't know that desks are being manufactured. So because you are saying now the desks were being manufactured there, who was supervising those works and the quality of those desks? The engineer was not going there. everybody was intact?
Sorry, Chair, the inspection of desks were being done at the Civic Center because they were bringing them the desks at the Civic Center. After inspection, then now we deliver to the beneficiaries.
You see, when we make certain comments, you go and complain. You cannot talk like that. These are public resources. People sitting on the floor. Within that particular period, nothing is happening. Then you come here and casually just say that. Last time we asked the council, you are paid from Monday to Friday, from 1st to 30th, 365 days, the working days, you are paid for that, employed to do that. The director engineering to check before he brings a recommendation. Maybe since SIKONGO, because the normal thing, the director engineering or planner will come and say, this contract is non-performing, is not performing. So I recommend that we claim for this. That is the order. But you are telling us, no, behind the scenes. And then there's those scenes at the Civic Center. Council Secretary, even you have now been transferred, you take the same attitude to Chembe. You want to justify things. Here I've asked a simple question. Me, I'm not a technically qualified. We are not. Maybe Dr. Mwanza in this particular field. When you claim for liquidated damages, it's on a contract that is terminated. When you write, in a council, everything is regulated. The time that you do a letter to claim, that means you have a resolution. You don't just wake up and say, we claim you refund on a contract that is running. It means there is no contract at all. I was telling some people, if this is the basis of promoting people in the councils, many of you will not be there. But because the other tools they're using, you cannot come and justify. These are public resources, my brothers. Who is going to change this country? Now, Dr. Simwombe is saying, the minister is even saying, the desks, we cannot procure desks. Why are we created as a council? Why are we existing as a council? So we're not going to allow this. We are going to help this government. I've always indicated. We are going to interrogate, expose you. We are not being unfair, but you are being unfair to yourselves. A short one.
Just a short one, just on where the council secretary is saying the desks are brought there. My question was, the director engineer doesn't go there. And if he doesn't go there, they just bring them a batch after manufacturing those desks.
After termination.
Don't you find defective desks? You discover just that day. Then I was checking on your administrative component. Since there is a challenge in SIKONGO, you don't move around in most cases. Not even to go and check on the desks.
It's depleted.
But you look at the way you have been spending that component. On what?
I think I read something. I'll come to that. The administrative component. 23 projects, not for 2022, not done. Then you look at the administrative component. What were you using it for? The desks, as he has said. Let's move to another question. If this is a terminated contract, you are paying, and you have not recovered, we should ask you to recover this money. These are public resources. Another question, Dr. Mununda, Honorable Mununda, then Dr. Mwanza.
On page 15, Chairperson, we appreciate, I've been to SIKONGO. I went there in 2017, 2018 as a committee to go and check on that secondary schools down there. And when we drove to reach the administration, some places, 500 meters, we couldn't reach the office. The vehicles are stuck. We had to up here on office. Anyway, we understand the terrain in SIKONGO. But on page 15, procurement of goods and services, failure to inscribe assets. Even this is terrain. Is the terrain sure? How can people fail? You buy the equipment come. It takes the auditors to come and say, why didn't you do this? We understand when the terrain, yes, to some extent, the terrain is terrible. But how about this? I thank you.
Question. You failed to inscribe assets that are procured. Marry this one to the same issue. Registering of assets procured from soft loans in a personal club's names. The law says that when you buy assets, CDF assets, you should inscribe so that they are identified. And in this question, this is where a laptop or it says, contrary to the regulation, 8 ICT equipment, a printer, 4 laptops, and a tripod stand, and the PA system costing 163,400 kwacha procured during the period under review were not inscribed with the identification marks. Then married with the one on page 13. The council failed to register assets procured under CF in the name of the council. I'll read it. CS, the 2 council secretaries. It's on page 13, married to what Honorable Munda has asked. It says, contrary to the terms and agreement for the loans, 20 applicants procured machinery or equipment for polishing rice, grinding maize, and baking at a total cost of 2,936,201 using soft loans. However, the machinery or equipment were not recognized in the assets register for the council as evidence that the assets were the property of the local authority prior to the settlement of the loan. SIKONGO Council. The loan says clearly, if you procure assets under CDF, they are supposed to be registered in the councils until the loan is cleared, and you enter in the asset register. So during the period under review, the auditors came. That was not done. I know you are itching to respond. You have attached a letter, a document, which has not headed, which is not authentic, and you call that asset register. So married to what Honorable Munda, I wanted to demonstrate that we read, we interrogate these things. Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I would like to submit that we have no justification to our oversight, and we sincerely apologize, and to also report that we have taken a corrective measure, and we have updated the asset register, and we have inscribed all the assets that have been queried. Chair, I submit.
Next question, Dr. Mwanza. Last one before we break.
Yeah, okay. We'll go to page 5. Page 5, there's a construction of a mortuary at SIKONGO Mini Hospital. This is in the health sector. This contract was given to MISEF Innovations on 25th May 2023 up to 27th October 2023. At a contract sum of 700,000 kwacha. Chair, the contract has since then been terminated. The letter of termination is in Appendix 1. The contract was terminated on 9th April 2025. And the reason for terminating the contract is on page 8 of the main submission. The cause of delay was due to failure by the contractor to source the refrigeration unit. So the contract has been terminated and the project has been re-advertised. My questions, or what I want to seek clarity, is why MISEF investment, as on page 5, has been overpaid by 8,930 kwacha when his contract has been terminated. We can see the overpayment because on page 8 you have the contract sum, then the third last column is amount paid to the contractor. The amount paid to the contractor there is 708,930, whilst his contract sum is 700,000. The second question is where is the proof of re-advertisement? And the main cause was that the contractor did not supply the fridge. That's why you terminated the contract. But he has been overpaid by 8,900. Was the fridge part of the scope of his contract or not? Because
so
the money is paid in full.
Was the fridge part of the contract?
Chair, I would like to call upon the Director Engineering to shed more light on the same. Director.
Thank you so much, Chair. The refrigeration unit in question, Chair, yes, is part of the mortuary. And the contract in question had an upwards adjustment in terms of funding from what is in the initial report.
Was the refrigeration component part of the contract, initial contract?
Yes, Chair, it was part of the initial contract.
So the structure and the refrigeration unit total cost was what?
700,000, Chair.
Okay. How about the overpayment? Where was the authority for that variation?
Chair, the refrigeration unit was the last component of the project to be installed, but there were extra works that were done to the contract, exterior works connection.
You are avoiding our contracts, our questions. The issue is you overpaid on this contract, and the contract entailed that structure and the refrigeration to be supplied, and they were both done, isn't it?
Yes,
at the time of audit. The refrigeration was delivered, the infrastructure was there.
No, Chair.
But why did you overpay on the contract sum, initial contract sum?
Chair, the amount paid is inclusive of the external works that were added to the contract.
What are you talking about? You are not answering. Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe to help the engineer, Chair, I checked the contract records for this particular project, and I saw a variation which I think the engineer has overlooked to explain as to why the contract was paid in such a manner. I saw a variation. Maybe Director Finance.
Was the engineer? Maybe we might be barracking a horse that is. Were you there in 2023?
Yes, I was there in 2023.
But why are you causing this committee challenges to extract information, especially that you are technical? That Council Secretary just went to SIKONGO after 2023. You, the two of you have been taken now to Kembe. you don't know the story about this. You were the council secretary. The engineer himself, you cannot add the two pieces here. You overpay without a variation. Now the CS is saying there was a variation. You didn't see it, director engineering.
Chair, the variation was generated by my office. So I think the time when we were responding to the query, we were responding over the issue of why it delayed to complete, Chair. I submit.
When you were asking you, why did it delay? You're supposed to tell us, actually, this project delayed because of ABCD. Why is there any difference? Why is this difference? You say, no, there was a variation. These issues should be on your fingertips. And you can't respond to that. So, we have a challenge. If these technocrats in the administration of CDF, we can have these. As we conclude, I'll ask a small one. It is on page 22, on the community projects, the last table there. The issue is in 2023, the CDFC committee approved 23 projects, which we already saw. Then 15 were implemented. Out of the 15, work in progress 2, outstanding 8. Now I want to go to your response, which is management response, or maybe let me action taken. That the 8 which were outstanding, management wishes to report to the committee that the council received the police motor vehicles and it is currently in use. Then the chief's palace. The community projects have been implemented and some are still ongoing. After going through your report, the 8 outstanding projects are not, is it only the police and the what? That was my question. Now, due to time, unless you want to comment, I wanted to make my concluding remarks. You can attempt to comment. Apart from the palace, the motor vehicles, what were the 8?
Chair, the 8 projects which were outstanding for 2023 have since been completed. The only remaining project under the period under 2023, there are just 2 which are being centrally procured.
So in future, or what your friends to do, or they do, when you say the projects are completed, what evidence is there? Do you have the completion certificates? Have you attached them? If yes, they are in the addendum, you show us. If not, you show us also the pictures to show these are the projects which have been completed. You have the completion certificates?
Yes, Chair. Director Engineering can guide through where the certificates are on their attachments.
Which are?
Yes, yes. So we attached the completion certificates for the projects that are queried in appendix number 1. And there is also, in the addendum, also there is a photo focus on the projects that were queried, Chair.
Okay. As we conclude, I'll ask Honorable Member who has just joined to introduce himself.
Thank you so much, Chair. I'm back. I'm Mwene Luhamba, Member of Parliament for Mangango. Chair, I was in the constituency for the whole week, working for the good people of Mangango. Now we are back again to offer the service from here.
We know what it means when you are there for 1 week.
Sure, thank you so much.
Chair, allow me to ask a peripheral question to ask for...
I will allow you.
Chair, I just wanted to find out, because I know the police vehicle is a product of CDF. CS, I just wanted to find out or to know whether, in your view, that vehicle should be serviced by the police, who seem to be struggling. For me, it's a product of CDF, and sometimes I feel a little bit uncomfortable when I drive around this country, Chairman. I see how these vehicles struggle to pull on these roads. One time I was coming from Ndola, I saw a CDF vehicle smoking as if it was bought 10 years ago. And I look at it, surely, how are we going to manage to look and keep a distance away from these vehicles, getting bad to worse?
Doc, that is our in-house issue.
The
officers are guided.
It's a peripheral question, Chair.
They cannot respond. This is our in-house issue. We can deal with that with our Minister of Law Government and their respective offices. I think it is our in-house issue away from this audit. Council Secretary and your team, I want to state that we are disappointed, very disappointed with the project management at SIKONGO Council. If this is the way, I said area, if this is the basis for any of you to be confirmed, even confirmed, for me, I wouldn't do that. It's not being unfair, but it's just being fair. The expectations of the general public, the government, and the people of Zambia on SIKONGO Council, the people of SIKONGO, is too high, and what is happening is below par. You cannot justify failing to implement projects for 2022. Up to now you are struggling. The issue may be genuine, the terrain could be the reason. But you are the technocrats who understand the terrain, and you do the costings to market, say this project can be done at such a cost. I'll give you an example. An example is the Mongu Kalabo Road, a bridge. Many people failed until the government found a contractor who did that road, that bridge. Even yourselves, if you are the people that we know are supposed to be there, you are supposed to do your costing properly, to say because of this terrain, the soil formation, we have to do A, B, C, D. And the contractors will be in other jurisdictions. You go there, this system is solid. Anyone who is said to be an officer in these councils, you know that they have got what it takes. They have the passion.
Recording in progress.
If you have the passion for your country, for the people of SIKONGO, this cannot be the case. You have given money to a contractor to supply 150 desks. He failed to supply. You terminate the contract. He is not paid back. He comes back to say, I've supplied, now he was doing behind the scenes. On a terminated contract. Did you seek authority? Did you re-advertise? You are operating as though you're not part of government. You're not part of the Ministry of Law Government. I said in government, everything is regulated. You follow everything. You don't need you just have to follow the regulation. And in the local authorities, you can go against the regulations. It's a sad situation. And one thing that you should know, and the country should know, your failure is not with this committee. Your failure is the time of audit. Are you aware? You are even wasting resources going to come up with these reports where the dates are different. You failed at the time of audit. If at the time of audit everything was done properly, you are not supposed to appear here. So even when you go to tell, no, this committee is being tough, is not doing anything, you failed at the time of audit. If you are doing the correct things, these audits will not be there. These resources we are spending will be saved for other things. So let's change our mindset. The issues of failure in SIKONGO have nothing to do with the competences. It has got to do with behavior. All of you are competent, but the behavior is the one which is affecting these things. You fail and you refuse to do the correct things. Take home with this message I've given you. The failures that we have has nothing to do with competence. We are competent to do a costing according to the terrain, to ensure that we monitor. We are competent to go and see the desks, that they are correct type of desks. We are competent. But the issue is the behavior. If you're Charlie, if you're Chidi, if you're Chikaba, the way things were. We are the people to change this nation. And me, on behalf of this committee and this committee, we have consistently, and we are telling you, we are going to make our recommendations, and the government will either take them or not, on a fair scale. The failures, you can tell. The people of SIKONGO are suffering. They blame the member of parliament. Check the date, CS. You are a new person. The date that the members of parliament meet during the CDF committees, and the time that you take over as technocrats in the implementation, that is where the chaos is. But at the end of the day, people want to blame the member of parliament and the CDF committee. At the end of the day, they will blame the president. How much has he? We are checking the figures here. 47 million from 2022 just to 2023. Money is released to SIKONGO. So, introspect. It has nothing to do with your competences. You are competent, qualified, but it has got to do with the behavior, attitude. Assuming today, as you go back, all of you, wherever you are, you start doing the correct thing, this country will never be the same. I can assure you. Now you are a new council, you're saying, now we have interrogated these contracts. Those who are there, they were not interrogating. And it is a new, is now moved to Chamber Council. He's now the council secretary for Chamber. He allowed that thing there. He's now in Chamber. This director is still there. Business as usual. From here you take it, oh, this committee is not good. It's not about that. As we shall be, this committee, we shall highlight those issues. You come here, you are wasting resources coming to respond, building these things that you doctor. Your failure starts from the day you failed to submit to the auditors. Even today, as you go back, Council Secretary, from now today, just go to all the projects. Take things serious. The auditors will come, they will not find anything. I can assure you. And the people of SIKONGO, you don't need to go to the radio station to tell them. They'll be able to say, now we are seeing things under the leadership of this new council secretary, new director of finance, new director of engineering, new director. They'll be able to say, this is the team. And that's how we should be working. Leave legacies wherever you touch. That's my take home. Very disappointed, very bad report. So we shall make recommendations. They are coming, your employers. Wherever we shall be, all of us, we shall come here and tell them the truth individually. I write here. We should change this country. The president is giving us the money. Now they want to procure desks, even desks failing. Then the whole CDF will be taken away from you. What are you going to be doing? Assuming. And that's how the councils were created, if you don't know. Look at why councils are there. To do this, and you're failing to do. So So when we leave you home to say, Daddy, where have you gone? I've gone to work. What do we mean? I leave it there. Immediately withdrawn. You go back, whatever you say from now, you're on your own. It's an indictment to all of you. What has happened? You join this Congo individually. Don't go there and you start individuals who are messing up. You are seeing them in your management meeting. Tell them. If you can't tell your PRGOs about non-performing, send it to Mwene, a text. Send it to me. We have a problem here in Congo by this. They will not know. We shall recommend to Honorable Sejan and the team there. That's why we have the commission there. So we need to have people who have the right mind. Managing is an issue of behavior. So we want to bring sanity. We cannot be sitting here as a committee every year, same queries, every year. What oversight are we making? So SIKONGO, go back, wish you well. We don't want to see you next year with the same queries. God bless you.
Well, that was our first witness, and this is SIKONGO that was being interrogated by the Local Government Accounts Committee regarding the 2023 Constituency Development Fund, the report that was released by the Auditor General's report. It was led by Ms. Felicitas Simwenge, who is the Council Secretary there. Some of the take-homes that the report highlighted, as also echoed by the committee chairperson regarding the findings in the report, project delays and termination. Numerous projects were delayed, including infrastructure first delays due to contractor abandonment and termination and re-advertisement. Unspent funds, approximately 35% of allocated funds remained unspent, with delays attributed to ongoing projects and administrative inefficiencies. Also highlighted some soft loan management. These are challenges in recovering loans, and registering assets procured through loans were noted, alongside delays in unspent asset registered. And thereafter, the chairperson also highlighted the timely and fund utilization, where they emphasize that the local authority should quicken spending on community projects and ensure transparency in relocating unspent funds. So those are some of the issues that were raised by the Auditor General's report in the 2023 ended 31st December regarding the Constituency Development Fund spent in SIKONGO there. We still have two more witnesses to appear before this committee. We're yet to see Sioma appear before this committee, and we expect to end the day with Lusaka City Council, and these are making their reappearance. My name is Paul Ndovi. I'm with Chola Kaoma, and later on I'll be joined by Jason Manda. We'll take a short break, and once the committee reconvenes, we'll be able to cross back to the committee, and the next witness will be Sioma. Keep watching Parliament Television.